Beats by Nevs.
Hey everyone, Joffrey here and welcome back to my channel where I review the latest and greatest gadgets and gizmos. Today, let's compare the two new models from Huawei, the Nova 11i and the Huawei Nova Y91. These are both newly launched mid-range devices from Huawei that offers some impressive features and performance. But the question is, which one is better for you? Which one will you pick? So let's find it out. But before that guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss all my latest gadgets reviews. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the design and display of these two beautiful phones. The Nova 11i has 6.8-inch IPS LCD screen with a resolution of 1080 by 2388 pixels and a 90Hz refresh rate. It has a 94.9 screen-to-body ratio thanks to its narrow bezels of 1mm. It has a punch hole cut out for the 16-megapixel front camera and a fingerprint sensor on the side. The Nova Y91 has a slightly larger display which is 6.95-inch IPS LCD screen with a resolution of 1080 by 2376 pixels and 90Hz refresh rate. It has a large notch for the 8-megapixel front camera and a fingerprint sensor on the side as well. Both phones have a splash and dust resistant body but no IP rating for water resistance. The Nova 11i is lighter and thinner than the Nova Y91, weighing 193 grams and measuring 8.6mm in thickness, while the Nova Y91 weighs 214 grams, measures 8.9mm in thickness. Now in terms of performance, both phones are powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 680 chipset, which is a 6nm octa-core processor with a clock speed of 2.4 GHz. They also have the same Adreno 610 GPU for graphics. Both phones have 8GB of RAM, 128GB of internal storage for Nova 11i, and 256GB for Nova Y91. Unfortunately, both these devices doesn't have a microSD card for slot expansion. Both phones run on EMUI 13, which is Huawei's custom skin based on Harmony OS, their own operating system that replaces Android, and both phones with 4G connectivity. Moving on to the camera, both phones have a dual rear camera setup but with different configurations. The Nova 11i has a 48-megapixel main camera with an f1.8 aperture and face detection autofocus, and a 2-megapixel depth sensor with f2.4 aperture. The Nova Y91 has a 50-megapixel main camera with f1.8 aperture and a 2-megapixel depth sensor as well. But both phones can record up to 1080p video at 30 fps with the rear and front cameras. Both phones also have LED flash, HDR, panorama modes, dual view, and high-res photography. Moreover, let's talk about the battery life and the charging speed. The Nova Y91 has a massive 7000 battery that can easily last for 2 days of moderate usage, while the Nova 11i has a smaller but still respectable 5000 mAh battery that can last for a day and a half of moderate usage. However, the Nova 11i has a much faster charging speed than the Nova Y91, supporting up to 40 watts wired charging that can charge the phone from 0 to 60% in just 30 minutes. The Nova Y91 supports up to 22.5 watts wired charging that takes much longer to fill up the battery since it has 7000 mAh battery. Alright guys, without further ado, so which phone should you pick? Well, of course, again it depends on your preferences and needs. If you want a bigger screen, a bigger battery, a louder stereo speaker, which is great for entertainment and gaming, then you might prefer the Nova Y91. But if you want a lighter and thinner phone and a high resolution front camera, a fast charging speed, and a narrow slim bezels for great viewing experience, then you might prefer the Nova 11i. And let's don't forget the price as well. You can get this Nova 11i at 949 dirhams while the Nova Y91 priced at 1149 dirhams here in Dubai. So they are quite affordable for what they offer. Alright guys, so that's it for today's comparison between the Nova 11i versus Huawei Nova Y91. I hope you found it helpful and informative. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more smartphone reviews and comparison. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.